How's everybody doing? My name's Mike, and we got Mr. Kai with us today. And I got my dog hanging out on place. And I also have the housemate of Kai, Mr. Archie. He's in my den, inside of his den. So we call their crate. We actually call it a den because I want people to think of it as that way, because that's what dogs use in the wild. So the dog is in its den, in my den, in the home. So the only difference between a den in the wild is just like here, there's no front door, right? The crate that we use as a den has a front door. And after your dog's trained properly, then you can actually leave your dog in the crate with the door open. But today we're actually going to work on the down position with Kai. He's doing a really good job. And the more calm, especially these two dogs are, the more calm we get them, the more likely they are just to even offer us the behavior of laying down, because they're simply just in a waiting mode. But we go ahead and teach with pressure, just like from the very first day. Heel, come here, buddy. Heel. Just like from the very first day I trained the dog, place. The very first day I trained the dog, and I'm showing the dog what I want with pressure on the leash. So when I tell the dog to go to the down position, we start off by leading them down with the leash with our hand. And then what I start doing is I start saying down like this, and I use my foot to give a little leash pressure. Now, we're not stepping on the leash. We're never stepping on the leash and trying to yank the dog down. We're only trying to signal to the dog the pressure. We're just trying to signal to the dog that we want the dog to lay down. We do that through the pressure. Now, we can do it like, I'll just kind of tap the leash, and the reason we do that is so then I can stop tapping the leash, and I can just start tapping the ground with my foot and get the same behavior from the dog, and that way we're not having to use pressure, you know, for the whole dog's life. So let's go ahead and get him going. Everybody heel. So I have Archie in the den, so if he makes any noise, I will correct him. Sit. They can't sit out here and watch us until they are able to be in the other room quietly while we are doing this. Heel, sit. Good boy. Heel. So when we're working on something like the down position, we don't just go straight into the down. We do things like this. Sit. We have the dog, you know, go to place, heel, sit, and then we throw. Good boy. That's a good sit. And then we throw the down in. See, he's having success right now. He feels good about what we're doing. And then he's much more likely to comply when I say, okay, down. And just tap the leash. Good boy. See, he went down with no pressure. So, hey, down. So if he starts sniffing around, especially on the carpet, they tend to do that. If he sniffs around too much, or, hey, starts licking my carpet, my rug, because what he's going to do is the next thing he's going to destroy it, right? If they're licking something, they're going to start biting it eventually. It's just what dogs do. So, good boy, good down. I want to make sure I can walk around him. Okay, heel. Good boy, sit. Good boy, down. So I use my hand, and then I just tap the leash, a little pressure, just a little pressure. You see, it didn't go all the way down, so a little more pressure. It's not done hard. Down. And he's also practicing, hey, down. He's also practicing being near, hey, down. See, he likes to, there's different dogs act a little different, right? So there are many dogs I deal with that kind of do what he does, which is every time I tell him to do something, he's kind of like sniffing around, trying to find a way to not do it, you know, or start scratching the collar, which really they're trying to get that collar off. Okay, heel. Place. Boy, okay, heel. Good job, good boy. Sit. Good boy, down. So tell him down, tap, tap. See how he went to go itch himself. He's just kind of trying to avoid that exercise is what he's doing. If they don't want to do it, they're just going to try and avoid it. Okay, come. Place. Good boy. So see, he didn't get on. We use pressure. Use the pressure to lead him on. And eventually this becomes muscle memory. learning. This is why we practice this all the time. Okay, heel, good boy. So you see what I did? See, what happened there is I called him to my heel. He was going to run straight past me. So this is where leash awareness comes in, and it's on the handler to stop the dog from going out of the position we want them in. That's how they learn. We stop them before they try to get out of that position. So we'll go ahead and do it again. Heel. I want you guys to see what this looks like. Place. Because what happens with owners is their timing isn't good because they haven't practiced this. You know, if it's something you don't practice every day, timing is not the easiest thing to get down. Especially if you're just starting with me, you've only had, you know, a few weeks of dog training or hearing about training, talking about training. So it's your first 3 weeks, you're not going to be as good as you would like to be. You know, with me, I've been doing it for years, so I'm very used to handling the leash. Okay, heel. Good boy. Sit. Good. See, he learned that time. Good boy. Good job. Down. So a little pressure. Good boy. And that's about it for today for the exercise. We just want to get them up off a place, and we do this several times a day, and we want to create success for them, and we want to teach them something. Like you just saw, we worked on that heel, where the heel position is. We're also working on that down.